Okay. I'm happy with the win. You give Western credit. I thought they played their guts out. They killed us on the boards and started hitting a bunch of shots. And sometimes games start spiraling like that. And so that it was good for us to have to play in that moment and have to keep our cool and have to understand that they were going to gamble, go for everything, and if they got it, great. If they didn't, it wasn't a big deal. So I was proud of the grittiness that we had to play with, and then we got to learn the lessons from what we allowed them to do on the backboards. But never going to apologize for a win. I think it wasn't a typical game, and you give them credit for how chaotic they can make it. Again, we turned them over and did just enough and made some free throws. And we'll take it, we'll learn from it, and roll on.
I guess I'll just kind of ask the room, how important was that big first quarter? You held them to 6 points, which is the least amount of points you've allowed in a quarter all season, and then obviously you guys scored 23. And I don't want to say you guys rode the lead throughout the rest of the game, but I mean, that was obviously a big deal. How important was it, even for the mood amongst the team and then for the end result?
I would say, it kind of set an example of what we were trying to do at the beginning. I think we fell off a bit towards the end, but yeah, I think how we start is how we should finish. But
yeah, and like she said, we were getting stops, and it felt like we were getting every shot we wanted. If we would have kept it going more, then we wouldn't have gotten to that point. We got that close.
Yeah, and I think to Greg's credit, he changed his defense, and they gave us some fits with the extended zone that they were running. And it took us a little bit of time to kind of figure out what we needed. We'll take those big quarters. We've had some games, at Utah State we had a big quarter that really was the difference in the game. And when you can be that dominant, and in a quarter, it's going to help you win games for sure. So definitely wouldn't give it away. But I think a few things happened, and in hindsight, I probably should have pressed some more in the second half. But they were getting loose on some threes, and they were feeling it, and I didn't want to give them any free ones out of the press for no reason. Shame on me. But a few things went into the way the rest of that game was played, but that first quarter ended up being really big.
You guys each played a lot of minutes tonight, and you guys do every game, but in that same vein, do you find it tough at times to kind of start how you finish? Getting gas, you're off of a road trip where you're playing in Utah with elevated air and things like that. Was it kind of tough with those minutes tonight, or am I reading too much into it?
I don't know. I think we took well care of our bodies afterwards, and we got in the training room afterwards. And coming off of a week-long trip out there was a little tiring, but I think we got a day off, a couple days off, and just being able to replenish our bodies was nice.
Yeah, no, definitely. We just have to take care of our bodies, and like you said, we've been in this situation before, so yeah.
When teams make defensive adjustments like Coach was talking about, and then you kind of have that mixed with crunch time moments in the fourth quarter where you're going to be playing the free throw game and things like that. Can you kind of just talk to me a little bit about what was going through your minds as far as trying not to panic and staying in the game and things like that?
Yeah, I would just say that we had the right people in, and I think we knew it was a mental toughness thing, and we've been practicing free throws this whole week, and so I just think when we stepped into the line, we knew that we had to make them. We didn't a choice.
Yeah, just staying focused, staying tough, seeing what they were doing, and trying to find answers against it.
And another one, kind of just for the room. Can you kind of just talk to me about the importance of the defense that you guys played all season? You forced a lot of turnovers, 27 again tonight. held them to 6 points in the first quarter. You guys just really played in your face defense, and you said you wish you would have, pressed a little bit more, but clearly you guys are a defensive team. I know that was a thing in the offseason as well. Talk to me a little bit about like the importance of defense, and then kind of was it a little challenging defending them tonight? They were really hot from three, things like that. I guess basically it was like the question was long, but talk to me a little bit about the importance of defense, especially in a game like this, I guess.
Well, I mean, here, at the end of the day, they shot under 40%. They shot 31% from the three. And the reason they were in the game was just the overlords. So defensively with what we were doing, we were pretty good. We were disruptive and we turned them over, like you said. We were pretty good. We just didn't rebound. And so if you just look at it piece by piece, in terms of just what we were doing with our defensive effort, it was there, and now we've got to finish plays. That's the lesson we got to take from this. It's one thing to defend their action and to make them make tough shots and all the other stuff, but then you got to be tough enough to go finish the play. Again, I give them all the credit. I don't want to act like it's anything other than just sheer effort on their end. And then, when that's happening, you have to adjust, right? You have to then say, oh, okay, this is the way this is going to get played. Let's go, and that's the only answer in that moment. And I think at times we did it. Unfortunately, at times, and a lot of times we didn't.
Tell me probably your best game of the season today, certainly scoring wise. Is there anything different, I guess, as far as, a feel or anything like that, or is it just kind of just one of those games?
I think it was just one of those games. My team is refined me and they're going to so.
Yeah. And then I guess for you, kind of looking like, we've seen the player that you are, not only score a lot of points, but rebounds, assists, steals, kind of all over the court. How, I guess, important is it to be like all over the place in every aspect of the game in your play?
I would just say I think it maybe sets the tone for some people, and I don't know. I think I think my teammates pick up after it a little bit. Maddie got on the floor a lot tonight, and so everyone did, and so yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah. Coach, I know you don't like to dwell on one game and things like that, but I do know rebounding is super important for you guys. You've talked a lot about kind of how that was a struggle in this game. Is that something that you envision approaching kind of vigorously in practice before St. Louis, or?
We've got a quick turnaround. We're in the weight room tomorrow at 10. We're practicing at 11. It's not like, these kids just played a ton of minutes.
Right.
So the old school coach in me would like to go war rebounding for about 45 minutes tomorrow and teach them a lesson. But it would make zero sense. I think hopefully they trust me enough to know, and I trust them enough to know that they'll look at this and say that's unacceptable, and we'll do something about it. And we better, because you're not going to get away with that, giving up 18 offensive rebounds a whole lot. So, but they're smart enough to understand that.
I think that's all I got.
All right, thank you guys.